Powering Productivity is the uh, podcast. Powering Productivity is what we are going to discuss today, powered by TSI Power. We have as our guest today Prakash Rathod, the Chairman and Managing Director of Caspro Kolhapur, where he's going to tell us with his 48 years of experience, he started his company in 1977, how power is important to run an industry, be it in general and also in shop floor. Sir,
Thank you.
welcome to Powering Productivity.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a very interesting subject, the power. People who knows me always tell that, Hari, you are full of energy and you should balance it. And without energy, it is very tough for human being as well as whatever man-made resources we have done. How do you think, with your almost you are going to reach 50 years of your entrepreneurship, how do you feel that the power in the industry through your experience?
I think if you go to the scenario as on 2025, power plays a very different role and an important role in the Indian condition of manufacturing. A true and a quality power and a continuous power is a backbone and the necessity of the manufacturing industry. Now we in the global industry, we are talking about just in time, we are talking about low inventory, we are talking about delivery, logistics, and all this being positive, then only you can be a long-term supplier to any worldwide customer or Indian customer. If you don't have a continuous power or interrupted power, then you can you will be losing productivity, you will be delaying your production, which will result into delaying supply to your customer. So this is one of the factor which plays a very different role for a good power and continuous power. The second important is key from 2010 onwards, a lot of technology in manufacturing got converted into CNC. That is called as computerized manufacturing, and which involves a lot of electronics actually. If the quality of power and if the supply of power is not of that quality, then the equipment have a chances of getting damaged, and that can also lose your productivity, plus it will add maintenance cost and which will erode your profit also. So I think these are the two main factors which plays a very different role in power to the manufacturing.
Kolhapur is I love Kolhapur because it is a historical city, and I believe we get very good food from there. So this company Caspro was founded by your father.
Yeah.
So how was the journey of Caspro till now?
My father was, I don't know where he was born, but up to 1960, he was in Pune with his forefathers. They had a utensils forefather business. He completed his metallurgical diploma in Pune Engineering College in 1960. And in those days, there were very few foundries. One of the major foundry was Ghadge Patil Industry, Kolhapur. So as a metallurgist, he joined Ghadge Patil in 1961. He worked there for 17 years. And in 1977, he started his own foundry as an entrepreneur. And from there, the Caspro Group journey started.
It's very interesting because I have seen many people coming from Kolhapur, Belgaum, Satara to Pune, and your father going from Pune and establishing an industry in Kolhapur.
Yeah.
I think, and Kolhapur is also having a very nice industry.
One more thing about Kolhapur is that Kolhapur is called the motherland of foundry industry. If you see at the foundry industry in India, Kolhapur comes in first, second comes in Rajkot or Coimbatore, then Belgaum. These are the four stations where a lot of foundries are there. But for quality casting, Kolhapur stand first overall in India actually. So there are around 200 small and big foundries actually, and overall you can say monthly around 35 to 40,000 tons of casting is sold every month from Kolhapur.
And Caspro, I believe now the third generation also joined with you.
Caspro, my father was the first generation, I am the second generation. 3 members of the third generation, my 2 sons of my brother, 1 son of mine, they have joined the company. Both of them, 2 of them are technical director and 1 of them is the commercial director. So I can say now I am fortunate to see the third generation not only joining the business, but taking over the business now actually.
And I think you already have, because it is not very common that, a foundry having an international office. You already have an international office in Frankfurt.
We have an international office in Frankfurt from 2005 who looks after our sales in Europe actually, and we have a team of 3 people actually. We started in 2005 because those days German was not spoken by many people and most German didn't speak English actually. So we needed a guy somewhere in Germany who can speak Germany and he can be a quick and rapid communicator between the customer and ourselves. From 2005 to 2015, his contribution were very much. After that, Germany team started speaking English. They started hiring people who speak English, and now they started opening offices all over India. So that communication has now diluted down, but still then our German office has a very different role to play, and they have initiated our exports, which we started from Germany in 2002.
I believe still many Indians would like to do business outside India because they get very good rates. But one thing what I've seen is going to Europe also multiple times. There is a trust factor which we need to build, and I believe that is a gap still Indian and European companies have. What is your view on that?
Many people after hearing somebody exporting they feel ki there is a lot of profit, they get good rate, but somebody only just thinks of exporting shouldn't go to export. You should have a vision of being an exporter. You should have an infrastructure which will appeal to the customer when he visits your factory. You should have a team building who should be good communicator with the customer, timely communicator to the customer. And most of the Indian industry, they don't have systems actually. They don't work with the system. So you should be a company which works into system. Then only you should dare to go for export. Otherwise, if any of the one factor is missing and if you dare to go, you may be a loser. You may be a loser. So you should be ready on this forefront to be exporter. Then only you can think. If you are not ready, try to build all this and then be an exporter.
You told that you had a lot of stabilizers in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
earlier time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it is very common. We take one product along with that, maybe a stabilizer will come. So you had servo motors is something which is very common, servo stabilizers. Now you move to the static.
Yeah, earlier we had around 22 stabilizer with servo motors, but a situation came in where our electrical advisor told us to change the stabilizer, which are very old, and we were trying to find out what to do next actually. Somebody told us to try to go on a TSI product, but it was very difficult for us to believe in a product which we have not heard of or which we have not read of actually. But my friend of mine who was using it for last 2 to 3 years and to whom I was believing actually, I thought that this needs to be considered. We took the discussion ahead with TSI and had a lot of discussion, and then we decided to adopt this technology. We did it on a trial basis, and now our full shop floor is on TSI. And on last 7 years only, my shop floor has not been down because of the stabilizer issue for more than 25 hours. So that was the decision, which was the right decision taken by me and my team members.
See, basically, most of the time, what I have seen is the small scale industries, MSMEs thing, advanced technology is not something for us. It is only for big organizations. But I strongly believe our country can only progress when the MSMEs grow. I strongly believe that. And for them, an entrepreneur, he starts with certain technical qualification, but after some time he leaves that technical and he goes and do every other work. So automation and technology and the support from the partners can only make the MSMEs goes to the next level. A person who worked with all these industries with association, what is your message to these MSMEs to adopting technology so that they can grow once?
I think with all my experience together, I can tell SMEs ki don't look at the cost when you buy equipment. First, try to look at the brand, look at the quality, look at the build, look at the design, and see, you may be paying more. But again, the truth is that it will give you more life also actually. If I buy a local, I have a experience where the local machine may cost me 1 rupee, but I buy a machine from Japan which cost me 2.5 rupees. 2.5 rupees. I'm paying more by 150%. But the life of those machines is 2 times more. In my shop floor, I have steel machines which are working 17 to 18 years old actually and giving the same quality. So my advice to the SME is that don't look at the cost. Look at the build and design so that your equipment and machine will be much more durable and it will give you a required quality for a very longer time actually. And don't compromise anywhere which contributes to the quality of your product.
You invested on a good quality product, and I think that it is not just enough. You also need to know how to use it properly so that your investment can bring back the results. I believe that there is also one thing, we we Indians needs to improve by taking care of the investment what I've done and how to get more productivity.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
One more advantage is that I have a lot many technology which is the best 5 in the world. Whenever my customer visits my plant and see all those brands, actually, no questions asked. These people have the best technology. These people have the best system. These people have a business which is running for 40 years. So the business should come over here with no questions asked. This is what. So I think small scale industries should also look into this skill. Technology and the supporting backbone which will make the technology run should be well in place so that you can go for a long run without compromising on eroding your profit.
You spoke about profitability. Higher productivity can only bring you profitability. How much power plays a role in your productivity and profitability?
Power is the first factor and the major factor which plays a very different role in the productivity, because if you have a quality power and a continuous power, then your machine will be in production and your parts will come out to be delivered to the customer right in time. If you don't have a power, quality power, it may damage your equipment and it may add cost of maintenance to your pocket, which will erode your profit. So there you need to be careful.
India have grown and is growing very fast today in the global market. Everyone is accepting that, and people like Prakash ji and Caspro, their team, have proved that India is able to sell their product across the globe. And as we have discussed, power is one of the important factor. Take care of that, and more power to you and to the Caspro
Yeah,
team.
thank you. Nice meeting and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.